Welcome back to Peace, Love and Tarot. This reading is for Aries, Sun, Moon or Rising. And Aries, this is your weekly intuitive tarot reading for April 6th to the 12th. This week we have the Inner Temple Oracle card. We have the Ace of Swords, the Knight of Swords, the Eight of Swords, the Four of Swords, the Hanged Man, and Strength. So a lot of swords energy here, Aries, who are really dealing in that kind of realm of the intellect, thoughts, mental energy, and that kind of thing. And that could be because, we're having this time to, some people are having a lot more time on their hands to reflect and to slow down. And it's very interesting because I've just got back from my run in nature this morning. And the theme that I was just getting a lot of messaging around the portal of the heart, and then the Inner Temple card has come out here and also in Aries, so I feel like I'm tuning something with this at the moment. My insight was around the fact that so many of us, obviously through being called to stay home at the moment, it is like a metaphor for coming home to the portal of the heart. And as many of you may know, I talk about the fact that the heart is like in a compass, it's our true north that guides us. But for many of us, our hearts have become armored because of past hurts, pain, and things like that. And we live from the place of the mind. And, also through just the distractions in daily life, the running around, the fact that we never pause, we never take the time to tune in because, our body's wisdom, which usually comes from the heart, it speaks to us in the stillness. It speaks to us in the moments of silence. So now that, people are being forced to, and it is forced, I know it's a strong word, but pretty much forced to stay at home, it's like for the first time, some people might be starting to hear the messages of their body. They might be starting to hear their soul's call, hear the wisdom of the higher self. And that could be really confronting because the messages that you're hearing might be telling you to, either take action or leading you somewhere different that might be really different from your daily life. So that's the insight that I was getting this morning. We are going through a period of being reoriented with the temple, with the inner temple, the true north, the compass. It's like that is opening up for a lot of people, and there's going to be insights in there, Ace of Swords insights, breakthroughs that you may not have even really known about, but we have to trust and have the strength to face what comes up. So I'm going to read the oracle card out and then we'll go to the tarot. So Inner Temple, devotion, tune into the portal of the heart. You're being called to be a devoted student and tune into your heart, to incorporate true devotion into your life. You could be called to develop a regular meditation, journaling or chanting practice, or to show up to your soul with rhythm, to develop a daily practice where you fill up your well and spend time with your soul. All of the answers to all of the questions that you seek are waiting for you in the portal of your heart, but you cannot hear them unless you carve out time each day to listen. Your soul is yearning for a deeper relationship with you, and so the more time you spend with it and show up to it, the more clearly it will guide you. Well, that's fairly close, I feel, to what I was just talking about. I don't know that text that well, but that is so true. We're starting to tune in, some of us for the first time in ages. So recent past, Eight of Swords and Four of Swords. Yeah, so some of you may have been feeling stuck in your life previously, or this could be, how you might be feeling now as well. The Eight of Swords shows somebody who is in some kind of mental prison. And if you look at this person here, they're bound around the key intuitive centers, so the third eye, the heart, and the gut. So this is somebody who is in that state of not being able to tune into the portal of the heart. This could be how you were operating previously, really busy during the week with, a busy career, or maybe some of you are running the household, dropping the kids off to school, getting the meals on, washing, going from one task to another, in your mind, trying to think about what's coming next, and never being able to be present. And so when we're in that mode day after day, that's when these intuitive centers shut down. And when they shut down, we can only operate from mental energy, from the mind, and that leads us to feeling really trapped, to feeling bound, even though we might not know where that's coming from, because we're stuck in the thoughts, the over-analyzing, the stressing, the maybe feeling like a bit of a victim, maybe feeling like the martyr, because we then start to identify with the mind instead of identifying with our true self, which is us as a energetic being, as a pure form of light and energy expressing itself in human form at the moment in this time on earth. That's quite might be not what you believe in, but that's what I believe in. And so this is really about you really coming into the heart, shaking off those beliefs, freeing yourself, because that's a trapping. Thinking that way and operating that way is trapping. So this person here, you can see that there's the sword's been removed. There is a free path. There's been a clear path out all along, because you can always choose to change that way of being. But maybe you didn't really, know how to do that in the past. But right now we're giving it a unique opportunity to be able to do that, because we're on rest, we're on pause. And now that's not everyone. In the industry that I work in, I'm in the digital industry, and I'm busier than ever. I don't have a lot of time at the moment. Those that are frontline, and medical staff and nurses, they are not on rest as well. So we need to be mindful of those people that are out there doing those things. But for many people, this is the mode that they're in, the Four of Swords, where they're taking a momentary pause from their daily lives. And it is a bit of, forced reflection time, because like I said, most people choose not to stop. They choose not to tune into that. But here we have, somebody taking that time out. And I feel that the initial stage of taking that time out for a lot of people, the first thing that might come up are the wounds, the hurts from the heart. We've got the Three of Swords here, the link to, the Three of Swords card with the heart with swords through it. So quite often when we stop, the first thing that comes up here is our pain. And that's why we've kept ourselves busy in the first place, because we've kind of keep on stuffing it down. If we distract ourselves with something, then we don't have to feel that. But when you don't feel that, you don't ever release that emotion, that feeling, and it stays with you. And obviously over time that can manifest into all sorts of, physical and, emotional issues as well. So the first step, guys, some of you might have those sort of things coming up, but you know what? Better out than in. And it's the first step, on this process to breaking through and to, really, releasing this stuff. Taking this pause, it's really like the time out to reformulate a new battle plan for our lives. That's why there's that sword here, which is the Ace of Swords. It's waiting for you, but it's saying there's a bit of a journey before you get to that. And I think that journey is going to unfold for you this week. But you're being called to have the strength and courage to look at your crap, Aries, basically. You've got strength in the Hanged Man. So this is almost like the next step of this process. Hanged Man's coming out a lot at the moment because it shows us in suspension, on pause, being held. We have that kind of 3 cards of that here. But the Hanged Man's a little different, because the Hanged Man's like another step from this card, because the Hanged Man knows he's on pause, but he's not just staying there and going, okay, tell me when this is over and I can go out and get, a latte and go to the gym again. This person here is seeking knowledge, seeking wisdom, seeking enlightenment on how to move forward for the better. So that's where you might get to after you've kind of cleared some of this pain energy. Some of you may then be really going deep and starting to get, downloads and insights, and also hindsight, and being able to connect the dots in your life and understand why how you got to where you are and why things have unfolded as they have. And that's going to take strength and courage, to face that and to own our decisions that we've made. We've got 2 number 8s in this reading, and that's the number of, mastery and power. And you've been given an opportunity to start mastering, that mind energy, to come back into the heart. And through that, you're going to start really unlocking your personal power. In the Strength card, we see the angel, who represents our higher self, taming the inner demons, the inner beast, which is actually our ego. or the mind that I've been talking about. So here you're really starting to do the work of bringing that swords energy, bringing that mind energy, all those thoughts, the victim mentality, all of that stuff, to bring it down, to calm it, to ease it. And then that's when we can hear the higher self speak. And that is you unlocking your true infinite power. And that's when the Hanged Man starts getting the insight that's required for that light bulb to turn on, for that vision to come through of, you know, what we might want to do next, what we're being called to next in our lives. So that's what frees the Hanged Man, and surrendering to that process. And maybe some of you need to, you know, actually, view things from a completely new perspective, whether it's in the way you do business and work, whether it's in love and romance. It could be in so many different areas of your life. I feel like this is a full life reevaluation. And in other Aries readings I've been watching recently, there's a theme of the fact that some of you are going to be starting a whole new life, and you're really ready for that. So, near future, Ace of Swords and Knight of Swords, here's the breakthrough. Here's the breakthrough. So I feel like after you go through this process, of this kind of insight process, you're going to get to an aha moment. You're going to get that Hanged Man clarity, and it's going to set you free. The Ace of Swords is an idea, an insight, a breakthrough, that's going to be victorious for you, having a sense of vision, clarity, getting a new idea on how to come back into power and move forward for your life. I think a lot of you are going to be feeling so free and powerful after going through this process of coming back to the heart. And then there's just going to be no stopping you, Aries. Knight of Swords here shows me that you're taking that sword and you're just charging forth into a new chapter, not willing to be held behind anymore. Yeah, there can be that kind of little warning with the Knight of Swords of not being too hasty and not sort of running before you can walk. So maybe, take it slowly as you might just have like such a big groundbreaking moment of kind of figuring out why you're at where you're at in your life, and now be able to make decisions on how to move forward. But just take it slowly. But I do feel that you're really going to make really fast progress in the next chapter of your life once we have our physical freedom back of being able to move around again. I love this reading, Aries. It's very descriptive of what's happening right now. So it feels complete for me. I'm going to leave it there. Feel free to leave me a comment if this resonated for you, and do keep in mind it's a general reading, so it won't be for everyone. And I'll see you back here next week for another reading.